of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones.
Hello, welcome back to a very special Game of Thrones edition of Needless to Say. Now I'm here with a very special guest. All hail Raeann, mother of Arya, bringer of storms, Khaleesi to love's leak god, breaker of Dave's spirit, slayer of boxed wine, and protector of the realm of Mayflower Street. And Dave, the chair crusher, skidder of mocks, forcer of jokes, and disappointer of children. What's up, guys?
Hey.
You know, it's funny. We were talking about what we'd call you if this was Game of Thrones land, and we came up with you'd be Goydor.
All right, I'll take it.
And we decided Brad would be John Nose.
Mike's no show.
I was thinking Mike could be Bran of Garth, or Girth, or Laimie Lannister.
I like Laimie Lannister.
He Tormund Giant's lame too. He's
No, Tormund's
Hodor.
cool for Mike.
Just straight up Hodor.
Just Hodor.
bringing the stunt double.
So Raeann,
Yeah.
making an appearance on the show finally.
Finally. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we had to set up the studio in our kitchen for her to show
In
up.
the
But
kitchen.
yeah.
Yep.
Whatever.
This is my cousin Raeann, Dave's wife,
Yes.
and fan of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
The other guys don't like to. Well, it's not that they don't like us to talk about it, but
They
they're
just
not
don't.
watching it.
No,
They're not watching it. So
Brad tried once.
yep.
Wasn't really into it, but since we've been talking about it a lot, he's started. I
Sounds
think
like Brad's wife doing anal. She tried it once, wasn't really into it, and we moved on. We don't talk about it.
that was a short friendship you had with her.
No, I do like Melissa.
Oh,
No,
man.
I think he's middle, probably towards the end of season 3 right now.
Yeah,
We're
he's
recording.
like mid season 3. He said, I think he's like halfway through season 3, and he said he's liking it.
And that's when
you
you
know.
start to really dig into the characters and
Yeah.
how they're moving through the stories.
The show's been on for how long? And you're only mid-season 3.
Right? Yeah.
We watched the entire series 3.5 times.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. Exactly. And even that, like, to have him talk about now, this is the final season. Not that he cares about spoilers or anything,
He
because
doesn't.
we've just been doing it to him anyway. We've been telling him, but you know, he didn't want to be in the way. He was stepping aside.
Well, good. I'm glad.
And it's big because the other thing was trying to be timely on it. We're always a week behind because of when we air the show to when we record.
Yeah.
So it was kind of tough for us to get it. So I said, let's just do a special one. You know, we started talking about it. So let's just do one right in the middle before the last one, because we can make some predictions here if we want.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Maybe make a prediction if you enunciate it correctly.
Right? Those two. We could make one of those. And then but then we could also, you know, if we do cover it in a regular episode, we cover the final season. It doesn't matter if it's a week and a half later. You know what I mean? It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, we get this in. We're trying to record and put this out before the final episode.
And we will. And it'll be out.
All right.
So we'll get it done. So, Raeann, what do you think so far of season 8?
I'm a little disappointed with season 8, I'll be honest.
You're one of those.
I am. Episode 3 was pretty epic, and I think that was a hard one to follow.
That was the long night.
That was the long night.
Yep.
That was definitely a good one.
That was intense.
I loved how people complained about an episode called The Long Night, about a battle in the dark.
I loved it.
Being too dark.
And they couldn't see it.
I thought that was great. I loved it.
It was
You two were on the
fantastic.
same page with that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved it. That was done on purpose for sure. and I was sitting on the couch with major anxiety,
Yeah.
wondering what is in the darkness. I couldn't even sit.
It put you in the same mood as the characters.
Yeah.
You know, there are other movies that have done that. You think of like Saving Private Ryan, like the
Yep.
whole opening scene they filmed that way, and the show Band of Brothers, an HBO show.
Yeah.
They filmed it like so it was jostling, you couldn't focus, and you kind of get that anxiety.
You get that
Yeah.
stress about
I
it.
think that's probably what they did. We're going for anyway.
Yeah, matter of fact, HBO, they're doing that miniseries right now, Chernobyl.
Oh, that's right.
And I was watching part 2 last night, and there's a part where the guys go in underneath the reactor, and their flashlights, because the radiation is so high, the flashlights just crap out on them. Now they're like waist deep
In the
in
dark.
water, in the complete darkness, and you can't see anything.
Are they growing goiters while it's happening?
yeah,
with
they
all
are.
the radiation?
Oh yeah, they are. But it's Russia, so they don't care.
Oh,
See,
all right.
They're like, "What?
They got better.
Put some vodka on it.
Russian accent. Hey man, watch this.
What you did? Yeah.
Hold my vodka.
Tell my wife. Call an American guy on the internet.
Looking for your nuclear vessel.
Yeah.
Let that shit get on down to the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, let that radiation soak on in.
Soak that in there good. Good and
Put
deep.
some water in it, more radiation.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I mean, so they did the same thing, and it had the same effect. It stresses you out. These guys have to get to this point and do a job. They can't see anything, and you're like,
I was wicked
you know,
stressed.
you're stressed out. So
Yeah.
I was stressed.
Yeah,
That was-
I think looking back, it was probably intentional to get that mood. From
well, it
people.
was definitely intentional because they said it was.
Yeah. When that last
After
flame
so
went out
many
with the
people-
Dothraki,
Yeah.
I almost fell off the couch. No,
That's-
that was it.
That's the other thing I'm not liking is the writers and directors coming out now and defending their choices.
They should just let it go.
And it's like, just shut up. Because
Right.
you don't have to defend it. You made an artistic decision to do something.
You can't please everybody.
Not everybody's going to like it.
No.
And the thing is now, the cool thing is to not like the cool thing.
But that's why
You know
everybody
what I mean?
likes the show. Their favorite characters get killed, they get maimed, they disappear. That's what people were into. You never knew what happened.
And they still do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. But what happens now? Now you watch Ned Stark in the first season get his head chopped off, and you're like, "What the fuck
That was
just happened?"
terrible. I hated that show.
You're like, "What
I
the
saw
hell just
that.
happened?" Like, I like this guy. You know what I mean? Like, why'd they kill him already?
Poor Sean Bean
I
dies.
fucking
in every
hated this
movie.
show when that
Everything.
happened.
Yeah. But you wanted to see why that happened and what was going to happen next.
So then, but then it went on, and they killed another main character, and another, and you know, now you get to a point where what do you want them to do? Fire them out of cannons into the side of cliffs? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, does every death have to be more extravagant than the last?
Well,
You know?
that's the thing is every death leading up to this has led to something else. There's been some reason for it, or it's had some kind of reaction.
Yeah.
You're getting to the end of the show now where things are done.
Things are done.
There's not going to be any further down the line. 2 seasons from now, that's it.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this, and you've said a lot with Star Wars. People have ideas with what their favorite character should have done,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't happen, they're mad.
They're mad. Exactly. They have their own thought on how it should go, and when it doesn't happen, or their own theory or
Yeah.
prediction, and when it doesn't come true, they get angry.
Yeah, I've been pretty pissed a lot of times.
We've talked. You and I. What was the one thing that pissed you off the most about one of the deaths in this last episode? Go ahead.
Cersei's death fucking pissed me off.
Why?
I waited 8 fucking seasons to see her suffer so bad,
Right.
and a fucking brick falls on her head, and we don't even see it.
Right.
Right?
She could have been on Manny's job site, and that would have happened to her.
Yeah.
No shit. She just walks in with no hard hat, and she dies, and that's it. What?
But that's the thing.
I
Like,
don't even see it.
everyone was waiting for Arya or Jamie or even
To
Euron
lunge
Greyjoy,
out from the
Yeah.
from the
and it didn't happen.
yeah.
Oh, I was pissed.
And
I think it made. The more I thought about it, the more I like it.
I like the fact
I hate
was.
it.
I said it was kind of poetic in the sense that Tyrion originally wanted to kill her, then he tried to save her and led her to her death.
Yeah, unknowingly led her to her death.
So it was kind of a poetic thing, you know, and I liked it. But the other thing is, not you realizing she's not the main antagonist.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Brad's at home clapping.
Oh, you said that right.
I said it right. Yeah. I did.
We don't ask you to spell it.
I used the right one. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Siri.
But there goes
We practiced it the whole way.
right. But my thing is, it's the antagonists and protagonists have changed throughout the whole thing, and now the one thing, I think the biggest protagonist of the whole thing is Tyrion.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
No.
love Tyrion.
And
Up
what you
until
don't
the
realize,
last
this
episode.
is a guy who's had more lines, been on screen more than anyone
He's
on
been in
this
more
show.
episodes than
He's
any other
been in
character.
more episodes than any other character.
Yeah.
You know, and that points you in a direction right there that he's.
And I think
you know,
part of it is he's done an excellent job acting this role.
the guy is an incredible actor.
Yeah, I feel like all of them are though.
No,
The
yeah.
writing was amazing. I think we talked about this the other night. The interaction he had with Varys over this entire series,
It's
some of my
been
favorite dialogue.
Yeah.
But
No,
that's
it's
why I
been
hate him now,
fantastic.
because you ratted Varys out, like, you piece of shit, and now you know he was
But
right.
that was the
Yeah.
loyalty to his queen, who he thought was.
He was afraid of
But
her,
I think
not
that's
the
what Craig-
loyalty.
You're right. He's afraid of Daenerys.
Yeah.
I think that's what Craig was going. Is this show? It's not about this one big overarching arc. Like, oh, everyone's
Yeah.
gonna learn something. It's about people in different situations and how they'd handle it. Every one of us would act differently if circumstances were different.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what the whole
And
point of the show is.
And I love, you go online and people are complaining about Cersei's death and this and that and all this other stuff, and even Varys' death, they're complaining like,
Oh, that was terrible.
and the fact that even they had to come out and explain that Varys, like they had to make an explanation that Varys was trying to poison
yeah.
Dany.
I didn't see that initially.
But it was the girl. Is she eating? No, it was the girl from the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well,
you
it-
know what's funny? We
I
didn't
didn't
catch
see
that
it
either.
then. Yeah.
Ray's sister mentioned it last night to us.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I
you
didn't even catch that.
on to that.
No.
And I was like, yeah, he was trying to kill her.
Yep.
Well, good.
You know?
should have.
Yeah, see, but
I
no,
wish he
but,
did.
But last season, would you have said that?
No,
you,
definitely
you
not.
would have loved her.
No, she's become the Mad Queen for sure.
And that's the thing. And then but
this
then
last episode,
She's
did.
had moments over the series
over the entire series
that you're like, ooh.
she's not totally stable. She is tyrant like. That's the other thing is everybody's like, oh, now all of a sudden, within one episode, someone gets a head cut off, and now she's lost her mind. It's
No,
like,
she
she's
burned the
been doing
Tarleys
it.
to death too.
She
when
burned
she did
the
that.
Tarleys to
Yeah.
death. She threw that woman into the pyre. She tied that woman to the pyre.
The witch.
The witch.
Fuck
who
her.
had-
She deserved it.
Yeah, but she didn't do anything. She didn't cause his death. He died of an infection.
Yeah.
He
He was all,
cow.
he got Hep C. He was dead. No.
Yeah.
Aw.
But yeah,
Look
I
at
mean,
him.
she's burned a lot of people. She burned all the Khals when the
She
second time
burned
back,
all of the Carls. Yeah.
right? When she was back with the rest of at the Khalasar.
Oh, they all
Yeah.
deserve that.
That's not the point.
That's not the point. She
point is,
burned
like,
them all.
Her retribution is burning people alive, and that's what the Mad King was stabbed in the back.
I guess.
Yep. She did it with the guy with the Unsullied.
Yep.
Burned him. She gave him the dragon. Remember, she gave him the dragon.
Yep.
He's got it on
And
the
then
chain.
then she spoke Valerian to all the Unsullied, and she
yeah.
was like, "Yeah, fuck them."
That guy was
Yeah.
a piece of shit. He deserved that.
Yes, but he was. Granted.
That's not the point.
But that's not the point. She had it in her already.
Yeah.
It was in her.
Yeah, I guess.
And that just sent her over the top. She felt betrayed, but not just by Cersei cutting off what's her name? Missandei's head.
Oh, that was terrible.
That infuriated her. But now she feels betrayed by Jon,
Yep. Everybody.
Tyrion.
What do you mean? She doesn't know
Everybody.
about. Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
she does.
Yeah, because John told Sansa.
And
yeah.
then when she went and approached and tried kissing him and he backed up.
Yeah,
She
that was
knew.
the
And
end
she
of that.
She
Yeah.
said, "Fear it is."
Yeah.
She said, "I have no love here."
Yeah.
And John said, "I love you," and she tried. She's like, "You don't." And her response was, "Fear it is."
Fear
She's
it
like,
is.
Yeah.
I'll scare the entire country into following me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. But you could see too at the same time, her entire quest has always been for the throne. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And now it's
Didn't matter how
it's
she
not-
got there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't matter how she got there. Now it's within sight. And she's like, these fuckers are turning their back on me. Nobody's loyal to me anymore. There's none of this stuff. And she's like, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna burn them all.
She conquered
Yeah.
every city she walked into.
Yeah.
Every
Yep.
single one.
Yeah.
The only one she didn't do with force was Winterfell. Every other city
Yeah.
she showed up to, she took
Oh,
by
that's
force.
because that was John's. That was John City.
Right.
Yeah, but she took it over by getting him to bend the knee.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I mean, Sansa doesn't want her to have it, and that's the thing. Now she's gonna. That's one of my things. I think she's gonna try to kill.
Oh yeah.
Sansa.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know,
But this is what I don't like about this season is everything is rushed. There's one episode left. How are you gonna Sansa? She's gonna try to kill Sansa. Get there. What happened to like getting to King's Landing in a month? Now Jamie's there in the next day. Like this whole season.
Well, there was a time jump there. Not a time jump, but
That's what I don't like about this
It
season.
wasn't.
because when
I get that, but it wasn't in a logical time jump because
What happened to a fortnight?
But they kicked everything.
Everything's a fortnight.
But they
Now
kept
we're
everything
there.
else consistent. Like John and the army showed up one day, and then Jamie showed up the day after.
And
And,
even
when
John-
they left Winterfell,
How did Jamie
it
get
was-
there the same time as the Hound
but
and
it
Arya?
it wasn't though.
But when they all left Winterfell,
know.
it was all within a day of each other.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
But the other thing too is, like you said, John says, "Oh, the army will be here in 2 days."
Yeah.
They're about 2 days behind me, and then it goes to Jamie and them arriving at
King's Landing.
at King's Landing, and then back to here's the army. They're here.
Yeah. Well, now
So
everyone's dead.
days have
yeah,
gone
we're here
by.
and everyone's
Yeah.
dead.
Days have gone by. Time is moving on, and obviously they have to do it. And that's the other thing too, is there's so many characters and so many character arcs that you have to tie them up. You can't leave any of them open. They're gonna have to tie them.
But
up.
I think we're all gonna leave. We're gonna leave some people open. How are we gonna get back to Brienne
You would have had
and
to
to
do 3
Bronn?
more seasons.
We're not gonna see them.
But those
You
are-
will.
I think
Brienne and Bronn.
Yeah,
you
you'll
think?
see them. I think so.
you might, but they're not
One
characters.
episode.
I'm not. See, I'm not. If it ended today, I'm not thinking. I wonder what Brienne of Tarth is doing.
I am.
Yeah, but
Fuck. How many people she had to kill to get to where she is? She's a knight now.
yeah.
Yep.
She's
she
so
is.
cool now.
She's so
And
cool.
then we'll never see her again. That was it.
She's getting all sad.
Yeah. And
We'll never see her
Tormund.
again.
I mean, fuck. I'm glad he's alive, but
Tormund just left. He's like, gotta
he's
go.
all right. Peace. I did what I had to do.
Peace out. Yep.
Yeah. I don't like that it's been rushed. And I heard that HBO allowed them to make more episodes, and they didn't. The writers were like, "No, we're done."
They
Yeah,
said
but-
like 3 years ago that they scripted out the whole story. They had about like 73 or 74 episodes.
Yeah.
When they first scripted out, and this is how it fell. So they didn't feel the need to write on top of what they
Right
had.
on top of what they had, and you would have to. It would have to be, a lot more episodes. And I wouldn't say as much as just like HBO said, "Oh, we were going to give them more episodes." What was the budget? Maybe you know what I mean. These maybe they're like like the
Went up to
last
45, 99 a
episode.
month.
The last episode is just like a birdemic dragon. Like
I'm wondering if the writer Birdemic wrote the last episode. What the fuck?
Kids
Like,
like
we're gonna
lighting
take a
cheese
smoke
balls
break?
and throwing them at like a popsicle house.
Yeah, we're gonna go take a smoke break. We're gonna let the writer Birdemic write this next episode.
no, but even that. But how about that? Like everybody complains about Cersei's death. She was so sure that castle was impenetrable. The castle was her protector.
She was talking herself into it.
She was talking herself into the castle of being her protector, and the castle killed her.
Yeah, but they led it
and-
up. They built
but-
it up. That whole episode where she just started to panic, and I'm sitting there with Grinch fingers like this, just waiting for a great death. Anything. I would have been happy with the mountain just stabbing her as she walked by, and just whatever. I would have been good with that. Nothing.
Just flicks it on
Some mortar falls on her. Mortar man comes and drops shit on her head, and we don't even see it.
Like a Myra comes out, and just jumps on her like an Oompa. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I like how she died because she was this big grand person. She wanted to exert power over anyone, and then she died in the most humble, uneventful way possible.
Yeah, but like I said, how I felt about that was how you felt about the Night King dying.
Yeah,
that
I get
episode.
that.
He was so pissed. Oh, that was it.
It was so easy to kill him. I was like, oh, she just killed death with a.
But that was the
Fucking
point.
olive
None
knife.
of us saw that coming.
Nah.
But that's how I felt about Cersei's death. I've been waiting 8 fucking seasons to see her die and suffer, and that was it.
Yeah,
A rock falls around her,
oh, it's
maybe hits her. I'm not even sure if she's dead.
it's more than one rock.
I don't even know if she's dead because we didn't see it, so I don't know.
That's the other thing is you didn't see it. Maybe she is. I doubt it.
No, I doubt
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
But she was saved by Jamie's metal hand. Like
How
blocked
was
a rock.
Jamie? First of all, and how did Jamie even get there? He's bleeding out by 2 large stab wounds, and just like, oh, come on, I'll
Love.
save you.
It was love.
All right, my husband won't let me fucking die. He's like, I'm gonna hang here and bleed out. Good luck.
I would make an effort. I'd be bleeding on the rocks like, babe, I'm
Gonna
down
be-
here.
Get a paper towel, some band-aids.
Any bastard traces?
Some iodine. Something.
Gonna need a little Neosporin and a cotton ball.
Cotton ball.
Not those little round band-aids you put on your nipples. No, not those.
Maybe stuff the tampon in it. Like
Leave out the fish hook.
Yeah, just leave the fish hook out. No, but I mean, so I mean, I don't think they're alive.
No,
some
they're
people
not.
speculate
Probably
they're
not.
dead.
Probably not.
But I think she was killed by the castle. That she was a tyrant. She brutalized millions
Everyone.
of people and everyone for that castle to sit in that throne inside that castle. And she said, "This castle will never be. This castle is built out of fire and blood."
Yeah.
And it won't be destroyed. It's impenetrable. And then the castle killed her.
Yep. She
Yeah.
was wrong.
And
Yeah.
killed trying to escape by, like I said, Tyrion, not willfully, but led her to her death.
Unknowingly.
Unknowingly led her to her death. Before he wanted her dead.
He
Yeah.
was
You
trying. He wanted
was
to
trying
save
to save
Jamie
everybody,
and
I
his
think.
nephew or
And
niece.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He did. I don't think he could care.
His family.
He couldn't care less about Cersei, but
Yeah.
it was very clear that he wanted Jamie to make it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
And
that was more about Jamie than
even
it
the
was.
fact that Davos helped him out and left a fucking dinghy for him.
Yeah.
How the fuck is Davos still alive?
That guy's awesome. He's been one of my favorite characters.
He's never
Me
fought
too.
anybody in his life. He's been through how
I
many
love.
battles now?
Did you see him walking through the streets with the sword in his hand? Though.
Yeah.
I was like, look at Sir Davos. He's got a sword in his hand.
Onion Knight is just walking through.
It was all
Still
shiny and
alive.
shit. And he hadn't used it in years.
Yeah, exactly. He must have had some
Not a
fermented
drip of blood
crab.
on it.
No.
He must have had some fermented crab before that started. No, but I mean,
I love Davos. He's like the Uncle Mike of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
he's
he
just that
is.
cool old guy you want to hang out with.
Yeah, but not
But he's
quite
a
as
badass
cool.
if you need to.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so many character arcs, so you have to go easy on some of it to an extent, And
But
then,
Cersei?
but that's what I'm saying. I think it's more of making a point of thinking she was a tyrant and she was all this, but she was nothing.
That's I think that was the point.
Like she was nothing. That she was the least of the worries. Fire and ice were the problems. And that's like the name of the books, Song of Fire and Ice.
But I was
you
telling
know?
him too. Maybe
And-
Fire and Ice is just Jon Snow. He's got fire and ice, both. Maybe
It
it's just
could-
a battle of
That's a possibility.
Jon Snow's.
Being a Targaryen, but
Yeah,
born
conflicts.
and raised in the North.
Yeah.
But he also has North blood in him because he is technically.
He's a Stark
He's a
and a
Stark
Targaryen.
and a Targaryen.
He is ice and fire.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe this whole thing's just been about him.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe next week he just gets killed immediately, like about 10 minutes in.
Probably. Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I'm starting to think that he may not survive.
I hope he does.
And I'm
But
thinking.
he probably won't because I've just been failed this entire series.
Yeah, exactly.
Starting with Ned Stark's death.
Yeah, but that's the other thing too is people are blaming the writers. The writers know how the books were laid out.
Yeah, George R. R. Martin told them how it ends.
Told them how it ends. So
Yeah.
they're not George R. R. Martin said, well, this is the way it's going to end. I may not get there the same way you do, but this is
Right.
how it ends.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean,
And
it
I
is
bet
what
the
it
main
is.
points include all these major characters. So
Yes.
it's not like George R. R. Martin said, "Oh, this one person gets the throne," and then left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they know how all these characters end up. They've had to come up with, I think, their own versions of how they got there.
Yep.
I feel like if we had like 3 more episodes, like we could fill all the gaps here and but it's so rushed into 6 episodes.
You may not need the
6
3
or
episodes.
7.
But they're long.
They're long, but
You know.
like what happened to fucking Dorne? Dorne's just we're done with Dorne.
They're on permanent vacation.
yeah.
man.
Like Dorne, all right,
But
Dorne's done.
Dawn's always been separate. Anyway,
Yeah, I thought they would have like jumped
Technically,
in at
they're
some
part
point.
of the Seven Kingdoms, but they do their own thing.
they do. Yeah, they're
like
really
the
not.
Puerto
they are,
Rico
but they're
of
not.
Westeros.
Yeah.
Still a Westerosi owned island.
go-
That's right.
You don't need a passport to get to Dawn.
They're still waiting on some money to fix some shit.
Well, the Westerosi baseball players come from.
40,000 white people in the stands and 15
Yeah.
dark-skinned baseball players.
God.
Fucking Dorne.
But I mean, but how about that? That was one of the best deaths, and one of my favorite deaths in the entire series.
Which one?
Who?
Was what's his name? Getting his head crushed by the
Prince
mountain.
Oberyn?
Prince Oberyn.
Oh,
I was
you mean
devastated.
exploded by the mountain?
Yeah.
I was devastated.
How? I mean, he was at the time not. He wasn't a main character. He was a secondary character still,
Yeah.
but he was
That
playing
was
an
terrible.
important
I
role.
didn't- yeah.
But it was only a few episodes before they popped his head and
Yeah.
he felt off.
I
He was
loved
an awesome
Oberyn.
character.
Yeah,
He was.
He was a
super
great
cool.
He
character.
was good.
I'm gonna say that my favorite death is probably the obvious Joffrey.
Yeah.
Well,
That was good.
Everybody wanted to see that.
Everybody
Everybody
wanted
wanted to see
Joffrey.
it in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that poor
guy.
kid.
Yeah.
He stopped acting altogether
Yeah.
because he's like, I'm just gonna go to college.
I'm just gonna-
Everyone wants me to die
Everybody
now.
wants me to die. I'm gonna dye my hair black and go to college. Looks like a beetle. No, he's hanging. He's hanging out in college.
Yeah,
He's going to like
exactly.
the University of Glasgow Technical College.
Yeah,
What was your favorite death?
My favorite death. Ooh, God.
it's tough. There's so many good ones.
When Baelish got it.
Oh,
last
Baelish
season,
was a good one.
That was a good
I
one.
actually,
That was a good
I actually
one.
jumped up and yelled. I was like, "Yes!"
He
Yeah.
did.
Fucking
He
yelled.
wicked
Like,
did.
what the hell? I'm trying to relax on the couch.
He like spilled
No.
the beer on me. Even
I was-
like it
I-
was.
I did the same thing. I was like, "Yeah, you motherfucker."
Yeah.
Like, because he started this whole thing.
Yeah,
He
That
was the
motherfucker. He
start of
deserved
this
that.
whole chain of events, but he was also the one that put things in place to kill the Night King.
yeah, yeah.
It was his knife.
The knife.
It was his knife.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that was a good fan favorite death.
That was good. That was awesome. Bran
Yep.
gave her that knife.
He knew.
He set it all up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm racking my brain for other. This is terrible. Talking about what was your favorite death on the show?
Yeah, right.
Wait,
How morbid is
But
that?
to be honest with you, I think what the biggest one, I mean not biggest, but one of the most important ones was Ned Stark. That was the
Yeah.
one that made you watch this show and go,
That
what
was
the fuck?
terrible. Oh my god.
It's like wasn't he the main character?
I
Sean,
hated
he
this
was
show.
the name. He was the main
Yeah.
actor. And then like season 1, bye.
It's funny because Dave and I didn't start watching until what the hell is the
Hard
name?
Home.
Hard Home.
Oh, okay.
Because my brother was here watching it, and I'm like, oh my god, there's fucking giants in this show. Look how cool.
Yeah.
She
So
saw
we're
the
like,
Giants.
let's start. Oh, I saw the Giants, and that was it. I'm like, I have to watch this. So we started watching, and then he told us before we started watching, like the bad guys always prevail in
Yeah.
the show. He's like,
Yeah.
they always prevail. Nothing good happens.
Yep.
He told us about the Red Wedding, and I'm like, no, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm like, oh my god.
But
terrible.
It's like even that I almost forgot. Like, how do you forget about that? Like,
Yeah.
we're thinking of all these deaths, and that didn't even pop into my head yet. The
No,
Red Wedding.
the Red Wedding
It was
was
just like what
terrible.
The fuck?
And then
Yes.
Arya killing Walder Frey by feeding him his sons.
The whole
Yeah.
line, the whole
Yeah.
Frey line
whole
gone.
Frey- yeah.
She killed them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
What got me hooked on the show was not that episode, but was watching your brother watch the episode.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
I've never seen
Matt
more veins.
I was just gonna say,
and
was there
yelling
enough
and
room
jumping
in the living room for
No,
that forehead
no.
vein?
I thought he was gonna
And
flip
neck
our
vein?
couch over. Like
I,
it was.
I had to bolt the furniture down mid episode.
I don't even know why he was here, but he was watching Hard Home, which had just come. He was watching it at the
He
time
probably
it
did
came
some
out.
free tree work for us.
Probably.
we had to
But
feed
I'm
him
like,
and
we
hang out
have to
until he
watch
liked
this
him.
show.
Yeah.
But it was like that episode that got us hooked.
Yeah,
You
that
have
was a
to
good one,
watch
too.
it. Yeah, that was one of the best episodes. Was Hard Home.
Yeah, that was definitely a good
What
one.
death do you think was the worst death?
Worst? You mean like most?
Like, I can't believe that just happened.
Oh,
Besides Ned Stark, because we have all
I
established
think
that.
Ned Stark was almost too big to have that moment. You're like, holy shit, they killed that guy.
Yeah,
Like,
that was just.
there was so much shock.
That's what made this show what it was. I think just because it was so off key for any show that was on
Yeah.
television.
right.
Yeah.
You know?
Season 1 to kill the main actor, the
main
draw.
the main character of the show at that point.
That was terrible.
You know, yeah, it's tough to say what
For me, I think of when Cersei blew up the Sept, and she killed everyone that was there.
Oh, and then
Yeah.
Tom jumped out the window.
Yeah.
That was bad. Yeah, that was really sad.
That to me, like, I didn't see that coming until the Lancel followed the little boy down into the catacombs and saw all the wildfire.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit! But then it happened. Like, no, you saw Queen Marjorie say something's wrong.
We
She's
have to
not
get out
here
of
for
here.
a reason. We have to leave.
She was trying to get out.
And then gone.
Yeah.
I think for me, I was like, holy shit! They just killed half the characters on the show in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Like they had the High Sparrow, they had Queen Marjorie, everybody else was
The
in
whole
there.
Tyrells that, other than
Yep.
Leah, what was her name? Oh, the Queen of Thorns there. Oh my God, one of my favorites.
Oh, Lady Tyrell. What was her name?
Lady Tyrell.
Christ, what the hell is her name?
Yeah, we're all having that moment. But
Yeah.
I think that's
Oh, she was one of my
that's
favorites.
gonna be one of my. I don't want to say favorite death, but favorite death scenes.
Because she's like, oh yeah, by the way.
Oh, the mic drop death?
Yeah. I want
She
Cersei
mic
to
dropped
know,
her own murder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
I want Cersei to know it was me. I was like, oh fuck you. Even she's dying, she's like, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
she's
that
so
was good.
Awesome.
You-
She was one
actually,
of my favorites.
You know what? I just thought of one of my favorite deaths was when Daenerys was still over in Meereen and she had the masters up on the cliff.
Oh, that was a good one.
And she had the 3 masters, and they said one of you is going to die. Who was it? And the 2 guys trying to point to the one, and then Grey Worm cut both of their throats.
Yeah.
And left the one guy.
That
I thought
was
that
good.
was really well done.
That
I
was
like,
definitely
oh,
good.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
you guys.
I like
with all their
Grey
ships
Worm.
burning in the
I
background.
love Grey Worm.
And I keep
although he
wondering what's
lost
gonna-
his fucking mind in that last episode.
he went
Jesus
nuts.
Christ.
He's just going off of rage at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going off a rage and having he didn't throw his spear until he saw Daenerys stop burning
Yeah,
it. He's
blowing
like,
the city up.
all right,
Yeah.
sweet, this
Yep.
is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was going after John at some point.
Yeah, I thought he was too.
I was like,
Oh, that
shit,
look.
like, that would have been a
Yeah.
fucking
Well,
battle.
that's
He
gonna
still
come
might.
back. That's gonna come back. Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a fight.
Yeah.
That wasn't
yeah.
the time to be fighting John, but I think that's gonna come back.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that look. I was like, oh shit, and he's a badass.
Yeah, he is.
I think one of the worst deaths that I've seen, and Dave Hodor's death fucked me up.
Well, yeah.
Still,
I was in tears that episode.
Yeah.
That fucked me up for days.
I can't even say it.
If anyone even said door, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I was so pissed. Hold the door.
Yeah, that was kind of I like
That
that.
was a
hold the
fucked
door,
up
hold the door. You know, and
That episode, more than any of all 8 seasons, fucked me up.
that was a good one because that was like, you know, Hodor, you've been carrying.
Now we
Bran
know why
around and doing
Hodor is
it.
Hodor.
Yeah.
And it was all, you piece of shit, Bran. Yeah, he killed fucking Hodor.
Not only are you a creep,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Bran. He makes you want to shit. It is.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Fuck Bran.
All right. But how weird is that kid now?
oh my god,
You know, I always thought he was adorable, and Dave's just like, this is the weirdest fucking looking
that kid was adorable until he hit the puberty started, and I was like, no, that kid
Yeah.
actually looks like a bird,
Yeah.
like a sideways bird.
Yep.
Yeah, he is pretty weird.
Well, he is the three-eyed raven.
Yeah, he's
They
pretty
should,
weird.
call him the cross-eyed raven.
Oh, poor thing. Yeah, no, I don't feel bad. He killed Hodor.
But
Killed a lot of people.
just his this season, his whole freak show, just sitting there.
He's
like,
just always staring in the background.
just gonna sit here staring at you.
Like, why don't you blink this whole season? Bran? Why haven't you blinked once?
What was that Hitchcock movie where the guy was staring across in the building into other people's apartments? Like, that's him.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
That's
about.
Bran just staring
Yeah,
at other
that's
people,
Bran,
like
just
watching their life.
like a freak.
Why was he waiting there for Jamie? just in the shadows.
Because nobody
Just
could
in his
wheel
wheelchair.
Nobody wheeled him in.
Everyone forgot about him.
I forgot he was out there.
Bran turned around to get wheeled in. He's like, Hodor. Oh, right.
He's like,
Hey, Hoda. Oh, never mind.
what can I say to make this seem cool? Like I meant to be out here.
Everyone just forgot about him.
Bran looking at Jamie like, you got a light?
Yeah. I ain't wheeling that weird kid in that. Yeah.
Leave him outside. Maybe
Leave him
we'll forget about
outside.
him. Let the wolves get him.
Bran.
Terrible. He's been my least favorite character, I
No,
think.
Rickon was your least favorite character.
Rickon wasn't a character. He was
fucking
fucking
Rickon.
scenery.
He was useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
was just-
I just imagine this. We joke about this. I said I imagine the script for Rickon just like, all right, he's reading his lines like, look confused and panicked. Every episode he's in.
Yeah. He had about 7 lines in the entire series before he died because he couldn't fucking zigzag.
Because he could.
Why? Why didn't you just zigzag, Rickon? You could have lived.
Right?
My kid can't run in a straight line when he tries. Like, this kid.
Oh god.
Why couldn't you have stopped, dropped, and rolled, Rickon? You could have lived.
Terrible.
No, but I mean, there's so many just weird scenes like that. Like like we start talking about these things, and there's things that I forgot that have happened, and I start remembering because of certain, like we're talking about certain scenes. I'm like, oh yeah, that was that episode where this happened and that happened. Every episode, there's very few episodes in the entire series that something major doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That's the thing
true.
is every single episode has a consequence. There's been a consequence right now
Yeah.
from every episode.
Yeah.
That's
You know?
why we watched the whole series like 4 times at this point, because every time we rewatch it, we catch something we didn't know, we didn't see before.
And that's why we've talked about Brad. He mentions he doesn't mind the spoilers because he wants to, if he knows the ending, he likes to see how everyone gets there.
I'm the same way. It doesn't
I
bother
get
me.
that. Like, that makes sense. But you're
I'm the
right. It's
same
just,
way.
you have to pay attention. This is not one of those shows you put on. It's background noise.
No, it can't be background noise. You have to watch.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not like
You know?
And you
Seinfeld.
can't even
where
just
you-
start
granted,
watching. You have to watch from the beginning.
But then there's people out there watching it so much that they notice a Starbucks cup.
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't notice the Starbucks cup.
I didn't notice it until I watched it the second time when it was pointed out. You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
paying attention to that.
Just said it was a Starbucks. You know, it's cold up there. We need a latte
We
once
hit
in a
up,
while.
hit up the Starbucks before our meeting.
But I mean, and there's been other slip ups in the show, you know, and people freak out about it. Like you can find them in everything. You can find.
Everything.
I just watched a movie. I mean, obviously,
The whole thing was just a shit
obviously
show.
you're gonna find this stuff in some of the movies I watch. But I watched a movie. I'm like, Fran, I had to rewind it. I'm like, look, there's these. They're on a spaceship, but there's like not like a closet, but like a hallway, and it's dark. But you see, like the guy waving the actors on.
No.
Like giving them cues, and then he's like this and pointing like you that way, and then you know what I mean, like to give. And I'm like, he's giving them cues. Look, it's the director.
Why is the director in the movie?
You know, but then there's tons of stuff like that. Pirates of the I don't know, I can't remember which one it was, but one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies has got a guy in it. The guy's like totally like wearing a white
He's in a
t-shirt
cowboy hat.
and a cowboy hat on.
No.
And, yeah,
In one of the
he's part-
movies?
yeah,
It's
he's
right
part of the
behind-
crew.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
He's part of the movie crew, but he's standing behind the crew, and he must have been a sound guy or something, but he just got in the shot, and it's in there.
Yeah.
In
Even
a Cowboys hat?
Yeah,
How
even
unfortunate.
in Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's a scene where Indiana Jones is sitting in the cafe with the monkey on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Behind him, there's some dude walking on the street in a white t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
And it's set in
Wasn't
like
there a guy
1920s.
in one of the
Yeah.
episodes walking in jeans and like sneakers in one of the last episodes of
No,
Game of
that
Thrones?
was in one of the earliest seasons. People picked up, but I've watched that, and I'm like, are they jeans though? Like you
Well,
can't tell.
I looked at it a million times. I didn't notice it was
You
Jesus.
really can't
Could have
tell.
never noticed unless
know?
you're a piece of shit.
And yeah,
Now, when you're watching Gladiator and you see Russell Crowe in the fighting pit, and you see a fucking 737 fly over his head.
yeah, that's a problem. That's an issue there. Exactly.
I wouldn't
Are you
know
not
the difference.
entertained? Shh.
Like,
Well, fuck. I
yeah.
wouldn't know.
And then there was a movie this is going back years ago. No one will know this movie because it was horrible. It was Molly Ringwald is in it. And it's
Molly Ringwald, and the director know the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a science fiction movie, but the ship crash lands into this desolate, deserted planet. And as it's flying in, they must have did something. They must have used a helicopter to get the scenery, because the scenery is real. You can tell. And then they must have like dubbed in the ship that was crashing, the capsule or whatever.
All right.
But as it's going by, you look off in the background. There's a shopping mall. Cars, just like cars in the parking lot. Like all this stuff. I'm like, what the hell is that? There's a shopping center back. There's like a Walmart in the middle of
She'll be okay on this planet.
Yeah.
She's got groceries and gas.
Yeah, she just took a left over that hill. She was all set.
What am I going to do here? Ask for directions.
Yeah.
You're fine.
But I mean, there's tons of stuff because people are complaining. Oh, and even that, people are I'm reading some of the comments. They're blaming the writers. Oh, it's like the writers don't even care. They didn't write in the Starbucks cup. Somebody left it there. It was a mistake. It got missed by the director. Got missed by the editor.
And you know what? Like, I bet after the first few seasons, there were just as many mistakes that people didn't pay attention to.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet if you go back and watch any show or movie, you'll find mistakes in it.
Yeah.
People are being so hypercritical right now because
this is it.
It's coming to an end. They're not sure what's going to happen, and they're looking for they're looking for an out so they can say, they just fucked this up for whatever reason.
They're not sure what's going to happen. They're not sure what they want to happen is going to happen, and they're upset about it.
Right.
And that's where it always goes.
Yeah, they had ideas like you talked about before,
Yeah.
and they're not sure it's going to go the way they think, so they're looking for reasons to have something to bitch about.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if it doesn't go that way, like, oh, this was a bad season because they weren't even paying attention, that sort of stuff.
And let me tell you something. Like you said, people are complaining about the writers. You just said some of the dialogue between Tyrion and Varys have been some of the best in this show's history.
Fucking amazing.
It's amazing.
I love Tyrion and Varys, the relationship, until this last episode.
Just the whole thing. And these guys they didn't just give up. They have a storyline written. It's not going the way you wanted it to go, so you're upset about it. And I love reading. Oh, these guys, what happened? They forgot about character development and script writing. Like, so I was like, oh well, why don't you take your vast knowledge of character development and script writing,
developed everyone's characters.
Create a better show. Create a better show and let me know the release date. I want to watch it.
Yeah, and I think that's
because I'm sorry, Jim from fucking from Taco World.
Yeah.
I don't think you're
Sorry,
doing.
John Gaffigan.
Yeah.
Jim Slim from Poughkeepsie. Like, no one cares what you think.
From Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
From Nova Scotia.
What's great is she's listened to more episodes than Mike.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is. It's true.
I have.
No, but I mean, these are people. These people are criticizing people for their art, and it's art. This show is incredibly written. It's done very well, and
It is.
to bash it because it's not going the way you want it to go. Hey,
That's why you can't even predict it.
You
because
can't
you
predict
can't have
it.
any expectations going into this final episode because we're all going to be fucking failed
Yeah.
and be unhappy.
Right. No, but Raeann, you made a point. Like, the characters at this point are developed.
They're
Yeah.
all developed
That's
at this
it.
point.
Like,
Yeah.
this is the end of their storyline. Their characters are developed. You're not going to see them shifting a lot.
No.
You see, like, we've all known since almost episode 1 that Jon Snow is a good guy. He's got those flaws.
He's probably the only genuine good guy.
Davos
in this whole...
is a good guy.
Davos is
Davos,
a good guy. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot
Oh, she's
about
like,
him.
oh, Davos.
Oh, the Onion Knight and Tormund. Oh, let's not forget him.
Tormund's not a good guy. He's
No.
just
Yeah, he
fucking
is.
wacky. He's
No,
deep
he's
down, he's a good
brutally
guy.
murdered an entire family and
Yeah.
with a
You know,
machete.
you know what my favorite line from Tormund was? Anyway, but no, these characters are developed. This is it. Like, they're not growing as people anymore. So
No, exactly.
You're seeing how
Right.
they embrace who they are at this point, and that's what people are gonna get. But at this, I also think in 2 years, people will look back and talk about this show, and not just an episode at a time.
Yeah.
They'll talk about the series, and be like, it was fucking incredible, start to finish. Overall, amazing show.
Amazing show.
But you can't please everybody. Like
can't.
you said, that episode with the Night King, him dying, that episode was fucking amazing to me.
I loved it.
He didn't like it.
I loved it.
Cersei dying, I fucking hated it. And he's like, I get it.
See, that's the thing with me is I watch a show to like, I try not to think like I'm like, okay, maybe it's not going to happen the way I want it to, and I let it go, and then I'll think about it for a minute. I'm like, actually, that was really cool. I've enjoyed every episode this season.
I think
I think this season has been fantastic. Like they're doing a fantastic job. Now, this coming Sunday will decide how you know what I mean, how I really feel about it. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'll sit and it might be totally different from what I'm thinking. And then after, that's the thing is I always like to sit on it for a little bit and say, hey, you know, and then start to think about it. And you go, oh, okay, you know, like I remember going to see that movie. What the hell was that movie?
Garbage Pail Kids.
What the hell is
District
it?
9.
District 9.
Kids. Oh, God.
Right. So I watched District 9. I remember leaving the theater. You remember Steve? Steve and Jeanette.
Oh, yes.
Right. So me and Steve went and seen the movie, and the movie ended, and we both got in the car and we're driving, and we get home, and I realized neither one of us has said a word to each other.
It's because you couldn't understand his accent.
No, neither one of us could. Like even when the movie was ended, we kind of looked at each other like, huh? Like, did I like it?
Yeah.
It was weird. And then I went home, and actually after I was like, kind of liked it. It was good. It was just
Sometimes
so
you have to
different.
think about it,
You know,
yeah.
it was so different that you have to put the pieces together and start to try to figure it out. You know, and a lot of people won't do that.
And
you know?
I this season and with the show, like after every Sunday night, she's like, "What did you think?" And this week, I was like, "I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I need a day or two
We
to
both had to
digest it."
Yeah.
We both had to think about this one.
And
yeah.
there's so many folks that, right as soon as it's over, even while it's going on, criticizing it. They're online saying all this shit. Like, just fucking watch it and enjoy it.
Just watch it and
Take it
enjoy
for what
it.
it is.
Like I'm invested in The Walking Dead. Did I?
You're the guy keeping the show
How
on.
could you have
yeah.
100 episodes
Actually-
of fucking people walking away from zombies?
Last season, I think last season was better than the two prior season. You know what I mean? Like they fell off, and I knew they were, and but I stuck with it. It's a show to watch on Sunday night. There was nothing else on. I'm still gonna watch it. I enjoy it.
There are not many shows that can go past 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, and they're doing it, and they're starting to get a little. I think the direction's going back, like to being decent this season. You know, they did fall off, but I stuck with it. I was like, I'm going to watch it till the end. I'm invested. You know, I'm going to watch it till the end, and not give up on it. And it's starting to get better again, and I'm starting to like it. I'm liking what they're doing. So that's the thing is people turn on shit, and I wrote that in the chat. Yes, I said,
Yeah, you did.
I said people turn on shit immediately.
Yeah, they
But
do.
if something doesn't go their way, they turn on it, and that's just society right now. It's instant gratification.
They want to be the first person out
Yeah.
of the gates to say something different and get the attention.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Some of that is
Yeah.
self-serving shit. It's
Those
It
fucking
is, yeah.
millennials.
they just want to be the guy that said it first.
They want to be, yeah, exactly. And I get, and don't get me wrong. If you didn't like it, then you didn't like it, and that's your opinion. That's fine,
Right.
you know. But you know, like I said, these people blaming the writers, and it's like, and they blame the writer, and they start like they could have done this better and done that, and it's like, what? Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living? I looked at you. You're a driver for Pizza Hut. Yeah. You know, like settle down, buddy.
Yeah,
You know,
these
no,
calm
I could see if you were a driver for Pizza Hut and you have a bunch of scripts written, but none of them have gotten taken yet. But no, I haven't seen you mention anything in your
Right.
posts about your scripts.
Right.
So I'm gonna go on a limb and say you don't have any.
These people have written a story for
Yes.
10 years about 40 different people that makes sense and it's compelling.
Yeah.
You need to shut your face.
I can't say
Like,
that I haven't liked an episode. I've liked every episode.
Yes.
I thought they were all excellent.
some you
The
like more
one
than
thing I
others. Yeah,
didn't
there's
like
some you
about
like
the
more
last
than
episode was Cersei's death, and I feel like this whole season has been rushed. I feel like if we just had a few more episodes, maybe it would have been a little bit better.
Maybe.
However, it's not to say that the episodes haven't been good and I haven't liked them, because her torching the fucking whole city has been great. I mean, really, I didn't see it coming. It's terrible, but it's been great to watch. Like, well, we didn't see that.
I always wondered what Pompeii would look like on purpose. Fuck this whole city in particular.
City in particular. Fuck that one.
Fuck that. Yeah, that one's cool. Fuck that one.
You want to live in the capital? All right.
Yeah. You know what I didn't... The woman and her daughter, that whole last episode.
I get it.
I'm like, I didn't... What was her purpose? And then he kind of explained it to me with Arya. It was almost like Arya's development.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what is she doing? What is her... And then she's dead. I'm like, well, all right. I guess she didn't serve a purpose here.
Yeah, they were, I think, the woman and her daughter were symbolic of what Arya went through mentally in that whole episode. So initially, you see her trying to get into the Red Keep with her daughter, and they miss it by 2 people because the 2 people were Arya and the Hound.
Yeah.
Arya's on a mission to kill Cersei. She gets in, so this woman's stuck out, and now she's in peril with her daughter. The next time she sees them, they're cowering in a hallway because the city's being burned by fucking dragon, and Arya's changed, and she's on her way out. She had that moment with the Hound. She's on her way out, and she sees them, and she tries to help them now. So she's trying to help them out, and they end up sticking together. Can't make it, and they die. They get burned, and so the next time she sees them, they're just burned corpses. And she has a moment of holy shit, like reality, like this is what's important, not revenge. Like, she has that kind of epiphany.
See, I almost didn't like Arya's role in this last episode because Arya's been like one of the coolest characters since day one, and then she came in like a lethal assassin, and then like rode off like Patrick Swayze pre-cancer on a white horse. Like I'm just gonna. Like, all is good now. I'm gonna go off on this white horse into the sunset.
Yeah. No.
Pain don't hurt.
Pain don't hurt. Before that, that episode tied in her arc, which was one of my favorite story arcs through the whole thing, was her and the Hound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a relationship there.
There was a relationship there.
They went from her. He was on her list.
Yeah.
They did that whole adventure together.
Yeah.
He got her. She left him to die.
After she robbed him, yeah.
After she robbed him.
Yeah.
And left him to die. Then they met again. And they almost started to build a mutual respect for each other because he protected her at one point.
Mm-hmm.
He started to like her because he's like, she's no joke.
She's badass.
You know, she's a badass. And he started to respect her.
Yeah.
And then it was like a tender moment where he said to her, look at me. Do you want this? All I've wanted all my life is revenge, and look at me.
Yeah.
Nobody likes me. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
I think deep down the Hound was always a good guy.
Yeah.
I mean, after he killed the butcher's boy, after he brutally murdered that kid.
Yeah.
Well, he ran.
After that, he was a good guy. I think.
Yeah. But then, he went and hung out with the guy from Deadwood for a little bit.
Yeah. I was so excited that guy was on.
Yeah,
One episode in, I was like, oh.
Oh, they killed him already. Yeah, it would have been great as if they stabbed him. He was like, cocksucker.
As he's dying, he calls John Wick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keanu Reeves kills everybody. Wouldn't that be a great last episode?
Oh, John Wick is the coolest.
John Wick rides into fucking King's Landing with his dog and just kills everybody.
On a white horse with Patrick Swayze. Yeah.
Oh, this is going way off the rails.
That story.
And Craig pushes through.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it out.
I'm gonna get it out.
He's gonna.
No, but that story arc was great because then she showed him the respect back and called him by his name.
Yeah.
Sandor.
Yeah.
You know, well, that's what I'm saying. You know, and he stopped for a second, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm not the Hound to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that gave him a little sense of purpose, almost. Maybe, like, not a sense of purpose, but a little closure on his life. Nobody's like me. I've been a scumbag or a tool. You know, like a tool.
She was a
for
little
people.
redemption for him, I think.
And she was redemption.
I mean,
And
he
him
was
for
still a
her,
grotesque piece of shit, but not to Arya.
No.
Yeah.
He was. He was a scumbag to most people.
Not to me.
But no,
Not to me.
Not to me. I grew to love the
Well,
Hound.
he even tried with Sansa.
With Sansa, yeah.
You know, he protected her.
He
you know,
did.
He did.
He did.
And I mean, and against his he could have got killed for what he was doing with her, you know, and stuff like that. So he did have a good side.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't a complete animal. Was he? He was just like gruff and you know what I mean. Like that was just his.
He was a piece of shit, but he had a soft side.
He had a
it was
soft
just
side.
there.
Even with the father and the daughter that died, and he found them. Remember, like burned alive.
The same
and
father
that.
and daughter that he robbed of their silver and
Well,
left.
he did, but he felt bad after the fact.
No, but that's kind of my
did,
point.
yeah.
Like he was that villain that really wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah, he did what he had to do, but he didn't really want any harm to come to
Hound.
people.
Yeah.
But
in the end, he got what he wanted. He killed his brother. His life was over, which I think ultimately he wanted.
I think they did not need to show the mountain. That was ridiculous. I think he looked like shit, and we didn't need to see it. He was way better off with just the mask on, and we did not need to see his face and his body.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
That was ridiculous. That was almost like cartoonish.
Yeah, it was that I'll agree with. It wasn't. It was like I was like looking.
That
at
was
like,
dumb.
it didn't look
and I
that
think
good.
that whole scene was dragged out too far, like farther than it needed to be. We didn't need to spend so much time on the Hound and his brother.
Yeah, they didn't need to bring back Bane from Batman and Robin in 1993.
Yeah, exactly.
There was no need for that.
Oh, I was 6.
I think. Oh.
I was 20.
I was just 6. You old pieces of shit.
I was 20 years old.
Damn it.
That's why I always say my baby cousin. That's my little cousin.
So cute.
Oh my God. But no, you're right. I think that scene was drawn out way too much. They could have cut 10 minutes out of that fight scene. I think they tried to build it up to be more than what it had to be. It's like, all right, he was going. You knew he was going to die killing his brother.
You know what that scene reminded me of was like when the Night King was on the dragon in the last season. And it looked like he was like on a coin-operated dragon, like when he was like just going up and down.
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
I felt like that's what that scene was. It was cartoonish.
Coin-operated dragon. Out in front of Ann and Hope, just fucking rocking back and forth.
Ann and Hope.
The dragon stops. He just looks at the White Walkers like, 20
You gonna add another quarter, bitch?
Yeah. Get your AC ass up here to get this thing moving.
Yeah. But even that, but we were talking and talking about the Arya thing and the guy and the woman and the daughter, and then the horse shows up.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where that goes.
The thing was,
what's
there's
happening
two
there?
things that I'm thinking. It's kind of like I don't know. When she looked at the burned girl, the girl had a horse in her hand. It was a white horse, and she tried to hand it to Arya at one point.
What? I didn't see a white horse.
It was like a little doll. It was like a doll.
Toy.
The little girl that burned alive with her mom?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
But then the other thing was, and then she finds their burned corpses, and you see the burned shape of the horse in her hand.
You know, I was wondering what that was.
Yeah.
I didn't see the whole horse.
And then she looks up, and there's the horse. And so then it starts to make you think.
Remember,
Go ahead.
what were you going to say?
No, I don't remember it. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Stannis Baratheon's daughter with the horse.
Shireen
with the wooden horse that was all burned
That
and
was
shit.
that was a buck.
That was
God
a
damn
bug.
it. Well, never mind then.
Yeah.
I was as Craig was saying that I'm thinking Arya's dead.
She's not dead. She's the coolest.
She's riding the white horse off. She's dead. She's in the afterlife.
It's.
Do you think she died?
Yeah.
I can't handle
and I started
that.
to, and I was. That's what
As
I
you
was
were saying
thinking.
that,
You were
I'm
going
watching
there
like,
too?
holy shit, that's what it is. She's dead. Yep.
I didn't even think of
and
that.
that's because it's silent. The horse is there.
Everything's
the ash is
Oh
falling.
no.
And but it also could be she could be unconscious. She could also be brought back by the Lord of Light, because I start thinking
Fuck the Lord of
she
Light.
could be technically the prince that was promised.
Arya?
Even though it's a prince, I mean, don't get me
They
wrong.
did say last
Wait,
season it
didn't
means
we have
princess.
a discussion about that?
yes.
Yeah.
Missandei said it
Yeah.
when they were in. Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
I don't.
So now,
You don't think so? You think she's dead?
I
no,
think she's dead.
Oh
but-
dear.
but the other thing too is the horse sent. Is it Bran?
Could be Bran.
Is it
Ooh, I didn't think
Bran
of that.
because Bran knows that she is the prince that's promised?
Why didn't fucking Bran tell anybody shit? Like
'Cause
he
he's a
can
dick.
see. He's a wicked piece of
He's
shit.
like, I would have, but someone left me in the fucking woods.
He killed fucking Hodor.
Yeah.
And then if nobody left him in the fucking lobby of Winterfell there, he maybe would have saved somebody.
Fucking lobby.
Lobby of Winterfell.
Bran's in the courtyard just walking into some bird watching women getting
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
fucking peeping raven.
No, what's funny is
Peeping Raven.
the whole fucking world would have burned because if I was 15 and I was able to like see through like a bird's eyes, I would just be flying in windows.
Yeah.
My dick would be ruined.
Everyone would be dead.
Everybody would be dead.
The series would have ended at season 2.
Just sit outside a brothel and war against every guy
Yeah.
walking in the front door. Bran has fucked 7 million women.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at that
Bran
age,
is just
right?
warred into Pod's dick. And then we all know what happened that night.
See, the whole
Pod.
series, the whole series
We haven't
ends
talked
with
about him.
Podrick just dropping it out of his pants like Boogie Nights.
We never knew
Yeah,
what
That's how it
happened.
ends.
We never knew what happened with Pod that night.
Pod's a tripod.
Podrick. Yeah, tripod.
That's his real name, Tripod.
Tripod.
Tripodrick.
Tripodrick.
Oh, I love
He
Pod.
just calls it Tyrion.
Oh shit!
Oh,
my
God.
god!
So what? We've done a lot of jumping around with this. Where do we
Yeah.
think it's going to end? We have one episode left in this 10-year, 8-season journey.
Yes,
Of 40+ characters. Where's it going to go?
it's tough. It's so hard to say.
I have a theory.
Yep.
If you have, you
No.
can go. So I think I told this to Raeann when we were about halfway through the first time watching. I said, this story is going to end where it began. There's a phrase like history repeats itself.
History-
I think
yes.
it's going to end where all the pieces are in place. You're like, it's going to start all over. Like this whole course of events.
What do you mean?
So I think Daenerys is going to end up being the Mad King.
She's the Mad
Queen.
King.
I think we've already established that with the last
That's
episode.
pretty clear. I
Yeah.
think Sansa and Arya hold up in Winterfell. They're going to start plotting to kill her like Varys and Littlefinger did. I think Jon takes the mantle of Ned Stark. I think he's going to kind of reject his Targaryen roots, and he's going
Yep.
to realize like Ned was my father,
Yeah,
and he's going to be that person. He's going to protect the North. I think is what's going to end up happening.
yeah.
I was actually thinking Gendry's. Where's he
Oh,
the Lord now?
Gendry.
She made him Lord of wherever.
Gandry.
Oh, I forgot.
Gandry has a legitimate claim to the throne now. Especially,
does.
Especially now that his last name is Baratheon.
That's
Yes.
right.
She made him a Baratheon.
Right,
That's
so
why I'm drinking from the
So
Baratheon
I
glass,
think
because I'm
he's going to
rooting for
reach out.
Gendry.
He's going to reach out to Jon in the North to oppose Daenerys, just like his father and Ned did.
Yep.
Poor Gendry.
Right?
But how about this? So now, can I jump on this theory with you? Because you're making me think.
You're
as you
going
say.
to anyway, so go ahead.
No. Are you done?
I have it memorized. Go ahead.
No,
Well, he
no,
is
go ahead.
now. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, it's all right. What do you got?
No, what I was thinking was because you were saying the history repeating itself
Yep.
and all this stuff, and so what if Brienne of Tarth
Oh, Brienne.
actually kills Daenerys?
Daenerys.
I keep doing. I
We
keep
have
doing
watched
that.
8 fucking seasons.
And I say
Daenerys.
I say I know her name, and I keep saying
God
Daenerys
damn it.
because
Daenerys Targaryen from South Central Los
South-
Angeles.
yeah,
who drinks juice in the hood.
Daenerys Targaryen Jackson. But no, but
So Daenerys.
So Daenerys is killed by Bran, who becomes the Queen Slayer.
Ooh.
That's good.
Oh, that is a good
Right?
one.
She would have.
Jon becomes, like you said, like Ned Stark, and it's either Gendry or Tyrion.
I think Tyrion's dead.
Tyrion's gonna die.
I think Tyrion's gonna die too. But Tyrion, if all the other stuff that's been said in the show and the correct rumor and the rumors are correct, then he has a claim to the throne as well.
Because he's a secret.
Because he's a secret.
I think
Targaryen.
he is a secret Targaryen.
Well, the dragons didn't kill him when she put him in the.
Exactly. That's what I think. That's what I thought too. Yes.
You know, when she put him down.
When he
into
was
that-
removing the collars on the dragons, they didn't kill him.
Well, she put him down. Remember, she first sent him down. Yeah, that's what she sent him down into the thing, and he's like, "What do you?"
Yeah.
You know? And he went, and they didn't touch him.
No,
Yep.
I think he's a Targaryen too.
He is. He's half Targaryen, half Lannister. So now you have these houses have been broken.
She broke the wheel, like she said. She
broke
was
the
going to.
wheel. Now these houses are mixed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe that's part of her thing. Maybe she did break the. You know, she broke the wheel. The wheel's broken. Now these houses are mixed. No Stark has ever been on the throne.
They never wanted to.
They were
The Northerners.
The Northerners.
Yeah.
And before that, they were kings. Technically, they were kings of the North. Because it wasn't until
And then
the Targaryen, I forgot the king's name,
Aegon the Conqueror.
Aegon the
Aegon.
Conqueror took over Westeros
Yeah.
and and declared himself king.
Since we've seen the show, there have been two Starks who have been named King of the North, Robb and Jon.
Oh, I forgot
Yes.
about Robb.
Yep,
Yes.
the Red Wedding.
He was
As
King of the North
Lyanna
like 5
Mormont
minutes.
reminded us all a couple seasons ago.
Oh, God. We forgot about her.
Yeah.
What a fucking MVP that episode. Jesus Christ.
Right?
She single-handedly killed a dragon. I mean, a giant. We forgot about her.
Stabbed it after he crushed her with his thumb.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
It's
God.
like crunch.
She's a badass.
He pressed it like a
Behind
remote button.
Click.
Turn her off.
Yeah.
Behind Arya, she is like
Yeah.
the badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
she's
she was
awesome.
But I think there's going to be, obviously there's going to be difference, but I think when all is said and done, the table is set for this whole series of events to kind of replay itself down different avenues, but end up to a similar conclusion.
Yep.
I think it's going to end where we all say, shit, it's going to here it goes again.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's going to end.
See, I thought in the last episode, like John had a look on his face, like, God damn it! Now I'm gonna have to be on the throne.
That's
now.
what it was.
Now
that
I gotta kill this bitch.
and that's what that
Now
look
I have
was.
to kill
Yeah.
her.
It was a look of reluctance, like
I didn't want this, but now
didn't
I
want
have
this, but I
to.
have to.
Yeah, Varys
And where does he
was right.
get that from?
Yeah.
His
Ned.
father.
From Ned,
Well,
yes.
From
not his
Ned.
father, but Ned. Yes.
Ned was his
Yep.
father.
Ned wasn't. Oh, God,
And he
Ned
could-
was
and-
the coolest.
and
Ned
But the other
was,
thing
Ned
is-
was Yondu to his Star-Lord.
You could
Oh,
always see the
Yondu.
throne to
Except that Ned didn't want
Gendry.
him to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, or someone that he feels would be, you know,
Yep.
someone he feels.
We keep forgetting about Gendry. Gendry might just sit his ass on that throne too.
No.
I don't know. He
Poor
would have
Gendry.
to. He would
I
have to be.
rejected
He would
him.
have to be handed it at the end or something
Yeah.
like that.
There's a better chance seeing
But-
Gendry show up on
I feel like
Forged in
everyone's
Fire.
gonna die, and Gendry
Yeah.
might just walk on that. You're gonna be unfortunate.
But you got any? What do you think? Who do you
I
think?
think John is like, God damn it, I need to end up on this throne. I don't think he's gonna
Yeah.
make it there. I don't think John or Daenerys are gonna make it there.
No,
but I don't know who's gonna make it there. Tyrion's gonna die for sure. I mean, maybe it might be Tormund. Just like fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll
do it.
I'll do it with Ghost. Ghost might sit on the throne.
Yeah.
Because fuck John for giving up Ghost. That piece
Right.
of shit. He didn't even say goodbye. He just walked away. Ghost's ears blown off. He just walked away.
Just walked away. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
whatever.
like,
Bye,
yep.
Ghost. Didn't even throw him a bone. Piece of shit.
It's so hard to predict this show.
It is.
I've never been able to predict this show.
Can I tell you what I hope happens?
Yeah, of course
What's
you can.
that?
You're the editor. You can say whatever you want.
I just because of the fan bullshit that's going on. You know, like all the fans bitching and moaning. I swear to God, I hope that
The Lord of
Tyr-
Light brings Joffrey back.
Yep. Yeah. Right. Brings Joffrey back. Yep. And he's a douche, and he starts yelling at everybody. He was shooting all the women in the thighs with fucking a crossbow, right? And
He was the prick that was promised.
Yeah.
Tyrion accidentally gets stepped on by a dragon mid-sentence. Right?
You know, I hope that happens now too.
And then Daenerys dies of a staph infection she got from riding the dragon while they were destroying. You know, she gets a little cut on the inside of her thigh, gets a staph infection.
She catches dragon flu.
Yeah, exactly. And Jon Snow's running up the stairs to like go see her, and he slips and falls down the stairs and breaks his neck.
I hope all that happens too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
At this point, yeah.
I mean, it's just like, fuck it. And then fucking all of a sudden, Sansa and Arya at the throne stand there looking at each other. They don't know what to say. And fucking Journey starts playing Don't Stop Believing It. And Arya looks at the camera and it just fucking goes black.
Just Eye of the Tiger while they're running up the stairs.
That's it. Done. Like fucking Sopranos.
Are they breathing all heavy too?
Yeah. Yeah.
While they run up to the throne.
I'd love to see Davos just smuggle Tyrion inside of Brienne. or Daenerys and Grey Worm have an epic scissor fight.
Oh. It would just be slapping.
It sounds like pulling a slug off a windshield.
Oh my god. Bran becomes a staring gold medalist in this first ever Westeros Special Olympics. Arya puts on Walder Frey's face and goes back to a nursing home and just lives out her days eating applesauce. It all ends with Bronn on the Iron Throne.
Yep.
Oh, that would be great.
Brianna Toth has to get a restraining order against Tormund because he keeps sending ravens with charcoal drawings of his dick.
Or the last episode ends and all of a sudden you just hear from off screen, cut, and it turns out this is the longest, most expensive porno ever made. This whole thing really has just been Dane Cook's version of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Dane Cook sucks.
Oh my god.
No, honestly, what I really think happened, this whole thing, this whole series, this whole show has just been Hodor playing with dolls.
Oh, stop! I love that. Oh, that episode is the worst.
Or the one slow kid Tyrion talked about just smashing bugs. It's just been inside of his head the whole time. Glug, glug. The whole show.
Ned Stark just wakes up on the side of his wife, and fucking Bob Newhart's on the side of him, and then it's like, it was a dream. The whole thing was a dream.
Fucking dream. Perfect. Oh my god. That was the worst Game of Thrones review ever.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Oh shit! I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Jamie wins the shot put medal for throwing Bran. Beanbag toss. It's like cornhole with arms and legs.
When Tyrion gets killed, the cock merchant runs in. And it's like finally. And father's little bastard around forever. It's like some magic, you know.
Wearing his little pirate hat on the back of his head, you know how it stays on. Adabisi the cock merchant.
Adabisi the cock merchant.
Comes running in.
Like, finally. He's got a necklace that looks like all pinkies.
Oh,
God.
All pinkies. Holy shit. If there's ever a way to end a Game of Thrones review,
That was the one,
I'd
right?
say
You see
yeah.
it,
Yeah, that was
necklace
it.
full of dicks that look
Alright.
like pinkies.
Yeah.
Oh man,
You
yeah, that
guys-
was fun.
Oh God! Before we end this, can somebody please tell Brad before I rip my fucking hair out that it's Lori Laughlin and not Lori Laughlin before I snap his fucking neck?
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
I'll tell
my
him.
God.
I'll let him know.
Yes, please. For the love of God. And if he says livery one more time.
Right?
Oh my God.
I was right. It's livery.
Yes, you were right.
Yes.
Damn it.
Every time I listen to that episode of Lori Laughlin, if he says it one more time, I'm crashing my car into a fucking tree. I hate it.
You could try to crash into his house, but you'd run out of gas going up the driveway.
Oh, I don't have enough gas to get up his fucking rich driveway. That piece of shit.
Need your passport to get him past security. Fucker.
Oh shit.
Thank God.
But all right.
Yes.
So that's it. We're
So
gonna
that-
wrap this up.
That was us nerding out because we
Big
did
time.
it without Mike and Brad.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say, if a cock merchant doesn't run in this last episode, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Right.
Cock merchant comes in this house right now. He's gonna be disappointed.
Oh, he'll be pretty disappointed. Yeah, he'll be very disappointed. It's not magical either. It's just nothing.
It's like I'll have to put this on my thumb bracelet. We got the pinky necklace. It's going on my thumb bracelet.
This is a micro merchant.
Oh my God.
But Raeann, thanks for coming on.
Well
Yes,
done.
It's
it was
been a
fun.
lot of fun.
It was
Yeah.
so
Did a
much
great
fun.
job.
Yes.
And I want to throw it to you to end this episode.
Needless to say, we said it.